Alright, almost there. I just need a red. Need a red. Give me a red. Give me a red. Come on. Give me a red. Give me a red. Give me a red. I need a red. I need a red. Why did you give me a... Releasing on console and PC December 12, 2006. Post-production here, it was released in 2005, and I'm a moron. Zuma Deluxe is the enhanced version of Zuma, which released in 2003 as a browser and phone game, created by the legendary Popcap, before they went on to release classics such as Plants vs. Zombies. There was some controversy surrounding this game's release, as there were accusations of plagiarism from Mitchell Corporation, who developed a game called Puzzloop in the early 90s, and as you can see, there were many similarities between the two games. But many of you probably know that story by now. For me, I've been playing this game because I'm on a mission to complete the most difficult games I couldn't when I was a kid, to restore my honor as an achievement hunter from playing tons of baby games to inflate my gamer score. I've been focusing a lot on Xbox Live Arcade games recently. It wasn't really a conscious decision, but 100%ing Super Meat Boy sent me down the hard Xbox Live Arcade game rabbit hole, so here we are. I picked this game in particular because I remember trying to beat it as a kid, with me and my parents trying and failing over and over again to get past that blasted third temple, but we could never manage it. But a whole 15 years later, I plan to change that. I wasn't just gonna beat the temple that haunted my childhood, I was gonna earn every single achievement in the game. I already had most of the miscellaneous achievements for performing certain actions, such as hitting bonus coins, getting 16 chains in a row, and playing the game for 24 hours. There were 3 achievements I was missing for completing the story mode. Then I would also have to complete the first level within a lightning fast 5 seconds for Sharpshooter. I would also have to play through all of Gauntlet Mode and get the Son of Sun rank in every level. You use Gauntlet Mode to practice any stage you've previously unlocked, or you can face an endless wave of balls in Survival Mode. The longer you survive, the harder the game's difficulty gets, and you have to reach the final difficulty, Son of Sun, on every level. And finally, the hardest achievement of them all, with a measly 471 gamers on TrueAchievements unlocking it in almost 17 years. Score Champion, for earning 2 million points in a single run of Adventure Mode. The gameplay of Zuma is simple, but has a surprising amount of depth to it. Your objective is to stop this continuous stream of coloured balls from reaching this golden skull at the end of a set path. If even a single ball falls down its mouth, the rest will follow and you lose a life, starting the whole level over again. Lose all of your lives and it's game over. You prevent this from happening by firing coloured balls of your own from this frog. It can hold 2 colours at a time and you aim it using the left or right sticks. When 3 of the same coloured balls are matched, they are destroyed, earning you points and creating a gap in the chain, prolonging your defeat. Earning points fills this yellow bar at the top of the screen. When the bar is full, you hear and it turns green. This signals that the balls will stop coming, leaving only the ones on screen remaining, and then, after eliminating every ball on screen, you complete the level. What does Zuma actually mean, by the way? Lord frowns in anger. Interesting. Does that mean every time I hear Statue Man is going,
God is displeased. I like watching the ball chains fall down the hole. Stop messing this up for me. I've lived an eternity. This is my one pastime. Get lost.
I mean, I doubt it since I'm fairly sure we're trying to free him, but I don't know. It could also mean peace. That makes a lot more sense, to be honest. It could also mean... Thank you, Urban Dictionary. There are many techniques and strategies you can use to survive for as long as possible. For example, when 2 balls of the same colour are at either ends of a gap, they gravitate towards each other, and this knocks the chain back slightly. This is used as a tactic to keep the balls as far away from the exit as possible, and if the balls connect in a chain of 3 after being pulled back, it creates a combo, with each chain in the combo pushing the balls back further and further each time. There are also power-up balls which appear randomly in each stage, and are activated when they're destroyed. They can fade away if you're not fast enough though, so it's always best to prioritize them. There's the backwards ball, a crucial lifesaver in many cases, which pushes back all the balls in the chain from the furthest ball for a few seconds. The slowdown ball, which makes balls slow to a snail's pace, so you can quickly catch up by setting up combos to push the balls back in dire situations. The bomb ball, which explodes in a large radius, destroying any balls caught in the explosion, even on other tracks. And finally, the accuracy ball, which is the unsung hero of later stages, making you fire balls faster so you don't need to lead your shots if the balls are far away, and should make you miss far less often. It helps to earn as many points as you can as fast as you can, as filling up the yellow bar faster keeps you out of danger and completes levels sooner. There are 6 main ways to maximize your points in every level: gaps, coins, chains, combos, distance from the exit, and ace time. Gap bonuses are earned when you manage to destroy a set of balls by shooting through a gap you've already made in the chain. You need 100 gaps for an achievement, and it'll probably be one of the first achievements you unlock. There are also bonus coins at the edges of the level you can hit for bonus points, giving you a quick boost to the Zuma meter and earning you an achievement for collecting 100 of them. Chain bonuses are earned by having every shot you fire destroy a set of balls without missing or breaking the combo, with a chain of 16 earning you an achievement. Combos you earn by setting up balls so that their magnetism will create a chain reaction of destruction, and are an integral part of the gameplay loop. You'll want to be going for these anyways to push back the balls and keep them away from the skull. At the end of a level, you get 100 bonus points for every unit of distance that your final ball is away from the exit. What measurement is used? Not a clue. And finally, completing a level under its ace time also gives you extra points. The faster you complete a level, the more points you get. Fail to get an ace time and no bonus points for you. I would have to utilize all of these bonuses if I were to get 2 million, but first I'd have to complete the adventure mode. The first temple is extremely straightforward. There's only 4 colored balls to worry about, which makes getting long combos and chains very easy. The levels themselves also aren't that complicated, giving plenty of opportunities to create gaps and chains to increase your score. There's an achievement here for completing the first level of the game in only 5 seconds. It requires quite a bit of luck, as you basically have to make a large enough combo to get the balls all the way off screen to unload them in about 2 shots. You may be tempted to collect a bonus coin, but if you do, you won't have enough time to make the combo go through. It comes with a pinch of skill and a ton of luck, but it's nothing too difficult. It just takes a long time to get the right setup. Each stage of a temple has 5 levels, with the 5th stage always having 2 lines of balls to worry about at once, acting as a sort of final boss to the stage, or at least as final boss as you can get from a game about clearing away balls before they reach an exit. At least for now. And with each stage you complete, the set of levels you play through get increasingly more difficult. The first 5 levels are some of the most iconic. They have easy to understand layouts, and only level 5 poses any real challenge. After completing every level, you move on to stage 2, bringing a new set of 5 levels to complete. And in stage 2 level 2, you get introduced to tunnels, where balls are hidden and can't be hit, something all of stage 1's levels lack entirely. The paths the balls travel also tend to have more awkward angles, which makes accidentally catching another ball when trying to shoot at a certain spot a lot easier. The stage then ends with another twin path level with harsher angles. The third and final stage of the first temple kicks things up a notch, and I can honestly say the layouts for these stages are legitimately hard. Stage 3 level 1 has especially hard angles since the stage is shaped like a triangle. The second level then blocks off the second layer of balls with the first, which is great for getting gap bonuses, but it makes the level feel very claustrophobic. The third level is a rectangle, which isn't too bad now, but it can be deviously difficult later on. Then we come to level 4, one of the hardest level layouts in the entire game. Most of the track here is actually hidden by tunnels, and the small gaps you do get to shoot the balls are in terrible locations, either slightly too far or slightly too close for my liking. Power-ups are your best friend here. Oh, and also the final half of the level is blocked off by the first, right next to a tunnel, meaning the gaps you create here won't last long. It's nothing overly difficult now, with only 4 types of balls to deal with, but it gets much worse. The final level then switches things up a bit, still being a double track stage, but not symmetrical. Instead, the paths overlap and block each other, protecting each other the further along the track they are, and ending at the same exit. After beating all 3 stages in the first temple, I would unlock the achievement related to it, but I already got it years ago. Instead, I get this lore dump from a floating rock head. Let's have a listen.
Interloper of beauty. You suppose the secret of Zuma is possible to take the knowing so easily? No, that is a defect for your thinking. Our cryptic hidden nature cannot be discovered so directly. 3 mystery shines protect method. You will never strike past them.
So the frog wants to take the secret of Zuma, and the stonehead thinks you can't. And if the completion percentage for this game is anything to go by, he may have a point. So now the second temple is revealed, or rather just uncovered from its vines. You can see it the entire time. It doesn't contain a completely new set of levels, but rather acts as a copy of Temple 1 with 4 key differences to increase its difficulty. First, a new colour has been added, a pinky sort of purple colored ball. I can never tell which color it's closer to. This makes long combos more difficult to set up, as the chances of having a long stream of the same color is diminished significantly due to the increase in variables. This on its own makes the levels we just played through a lot harder, but there's more. The second difference is that when a level opens, the balls travel a bit further along the line than they did in the first temple, meaning the balls start much closer to the exit for each temple you unlock. The third difference is that the score required to reach a Zuma has increased significantly. It actually gets slightly longer each level, but it makes a significant jump between temples. The fourth and final difference is that each stage now has a new secret level after completing level 5, so to complete the entire stage, you need to go through 6 levels without losing all your lives, instead of 5. The new level in Temple 1, Switchback, isn't anything difficult. The only annoying part of the level is that these wavy lines have quite sharp angles. The new level in Temple 2, Sand Garden, has many tunnels much like 3-4. However, what makes this level much easier is the fact you have access to most of the board from your position. The only trouble this level can cause is if the balls manage to make it to the final tunnel, as this bend really restricts your aim. As long as the balls don't reach this final tunnel though, it's fine. The new level in Temple 3, Sunstone, then takes that concept but makes it much harder. The final bend leading to the Golden Skull is encased in a tunnel, so if the balls enter it, stopping them is almost impossible. But the very first line of the map blocks the rest of the straight paths, meaning if the balls get past this tunnel, it's basically game over in the later levels, unless you get a backwards ball. With the level over though, I get another talk with a giant floating stone head.
I see what? You have lived still? Is it possible to be the one of which the ancient prophecy speaks? It was sent in order perhaps to release me from my wicked capture person finally? But no, namely this was a story of the exactly old one. You want to live? Now retreat.
What? Completing the final level of stage 6 unlocks the dreaded third temple. This was a temple no one in my family could beat when I was a kid. The closest we ever got was stage 9, but the levels within were so difficult I never unlocked the achievement for completing it. But I'm a big boy now. This temple's got nothing on me. Like before, a new color has been added, white, making every stage we completed before significantly harder. The length the balls reach in the opening is also extended again, and one more level is added to each stage, making it 7 levels you must complete per stage to move on. The first newly added level isn't exactly subtle about its name. Long range, because you have to shoot the balls at long range. The accuracy ball is extremely valuable in this level. You can miss a lot of shots by just using the default accuracy, since every time you start a new level it resets. The sharp turns do you no favors either. The level added to Temple 8, Lair of the Mud Snake, has also been aptly named, as you feel very much constricted with only 2 rows you can easily shoot at, being relatively close to the exit, each layer shielding the other. And finally, the temple I couldn't beat, Stage 9. Since the levels in the final stage of the temple are always by far the hardest, it's no wonder I could never beat it as a kid, as I didn't have the reaction time necessary for it. The new added level is also one of the worst, Zumiac Exodus. You are trapped in a small box which blocks the second half of the level from harm, unless you create gaps or combos to pull the balls back to the start. With all 6 colored balls at this point, it's common for you to have to make the change much longer before you can start making it shorter. Even after achieving Zuma, if you didn't stack up on accuracy balls or get lucky with a backwards ball, the final part of this level, even with my newfound confidence, led me to failure multiple times. But I managed to pull through. Stage 9 was finally complete, and I unlocked the achievement for completing the third temple. My journey isn't over yet though. You may have noticed, but on the main menu there have always been 4 temples in the background, yet you can only see 3 in game. Curious. Well, after chatting with Stone God for a third time, we get our answer.
As for me, it is not possible to believe. Your power, namely, that is large. But there is one more temple which you do not find. The Zuma deeply buried under the land. It was hidden. It is the Temple of Secret. You find the final temple you must fight in order to take the cover of position of my jail.
There's a secret 4th temple. Not much of a secret, but pretty cool nonetheless. And this is where the game stops playing around. Unlike temples 2 and 3, no extra colors have been added, nor levels. Instead, this temple does something much worse, very sneakily. First, the balls start much further on than usual, traveling over half the board before slowing down. Next, and this is the key change, the default speed for the balls going around the track increases ever so slightly. It's only really noticeable if you put it side by side like this, but it forces you to fire faster and set up longer combos and pray for as many backward balls as you can get. The amount of points needed to fill the Zuma meter is also huge now. You need around 5,000 points to get Zuma on each of the later levels. And finally, probably the most cruel change of all, because the balls have increased speed, the balls don't slow down as much at the end, so the chances of saving yourself from the literal jaws of defeat are now much lower. Actually, I can't believe I haven't mentioned this yet, but when the balls are close enough to the golden skull, the music goes from the more upbeat to the more serious and the balls move slightly slower, so you have a chance to make a comeback. But now that safety net you got used to over the entire game is gone. This final temple is the ultimate test of your skills, and going for as many points as you can as fast as you can, whilst also keeping the balls back at every opportunity is a must. I managed to get past temples 10 and 11 no problem, but stage 12 was a whole different story. Not only would I lose lives on levels 3 through 6 quite frequently, but I always lost the rest on the final level. So much so, I decided I needed some practice. This is Gauntlet Mode. Every level you manage to complete has the choice to be played in either practice mode or survival mode. Practice is just a run through of the level on each difficulty, while survival never stops producing balls. When a Zuma is achieved, the balls just go backwards for a little while, like the backwards ball. I played through this stage for hours, climbing up the difficulties and getting as high as I could in the Son of Sun rank, which is the difficulty the final temple is based on. I would have to come back later to complete every level to Son of Sun in survival mode, but for now I got enough practice in, so once again I gave stage 12 my best shot, and this time I did it. The adventure mode isn't over yet though, there's one more level to conquer.
The final temple of Zuma was struck. Your extreme power is not possible to be defeated. As for me, it can taste the taste, whose almost freedom is sweet sweetly. But God of the Sun can be imprisoned at only that true house. We come from the star, return to the star. It is of you to rescue of my star.
Stage 13-1, Space. To free the Sun God from his imprisonment in the star, I'd have to beat the longest and strangest level in the entire game. For starters, the track is completely invisible, so on a blind playthrough, it's difficult to predict where the balls will go, and the score required to get the Zuma is also pretty ridiculous, having the highest points needed for a Zuma in the entire game. I was constantly on edge here, as you can't travel directly to stage 13. If I failed, I'd have to go through all 7 levels of stage 12 again, but I wouldn't have to worry, as a few minutes later, I finally beat Zuma's adventure mode, earning me the Adventurer achievement. Since I had completed every level in the game by this point, I started to go through Gauntlet Mode. Top tip for you all, make sure you're on survival mode when you go for this achievement, because only getting to Son of Sun in survival actually counts. It's a very easy mistake to make, as the menus look identical. I spent the next few days spending what time I could chipping away at the levels until finally I unlocked the Son of Sun achievement, and it gave the frog on the main menu a hat. That is awesome, look at him. With every level practice and my skills at their peak, it was finally time to attempt the Score Champion achievement. Starting all the way back from level 1, I would have to go through the entire game collecting every point bonus I could. In fact, what makes this achievement even possible is a final hidden point bonus at the end of the game. When you complete stage 13-1, you're awarded an extra 50,000 points for each of your remaining lives. This means if I could get 1 million points and have 20 lives remaining, the bonus would push me over the edge and earn me the Score Champion achievement. So this is what I plan to do. Go as fast as I could in the early stages to maximize my time bonuses and make sure I didn't die. I passed the first 3 temples with ease, earning almost 800,000 points with 0 deaths. Practicing in Gauntlet Mode really paid off. To my surprise, I also did really well in stages 10 and 11. However, when I got to stage 12 level 4, I lost a life, right at the very end of the level too. Now, this wasn't the end of the world. If I could still get to 1 million points during the run, I would still be fine. However, when stage 13 started, I only had 962,000 points, meaning I would need to earn over 38,000 on this level alone if I were to make the target. I made use of this left wall to gain as many gap and chain bonuses as I possibly could, but as the level went on, I realized it just wasn't enough. I was about 20,000 points short. I thought the run was over, but I failed to realize something. The lives counter at the top of the screen may read 20 lives, but when you're on your last life, the bar says last life in text, which means these are all my extra lives. It doesn't include the life I'm currently on, which means I don't have 20 lives, I have 21. And that means... after all these years, I finally did it. I highly recommend Zuma if you haven't played it before. It's pretty cheap on the Xbox store and backwards compatible. If you want to see my full uncut score champion run, check it out on my second channel. Bye for now.